me. You better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he calls me. He gets up real big, gets off quick, and if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score, never getting bored. Lots of blood and gore, always wanting more freedom from the source. They don't really listen until they feel it for the bought in. You start shit, you be heartless in the darkness. Pour a quick, you let scars rip, you be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it.
Okay, that should be good. We're live. What's up, everybody? So yeah, we're very unprepared for this. We literally just threw this together at the last second because obviously we're not in our studio. We are in Washington, D.C. for the Rally Against Fascism tomorrow from 11 to 5 p.m. So yeah, hopefully everything holds out. We've got everything kind of pieced together in the hotel room. The internet service is not the best, so we do apologize. We are actually getting better signal running my phone as a mobile hotspot than we were at the hotel. But no, all of us are here together for the first time in the same spot. Some of us have met before. We're actually on the same room. We're all in the same hotel room right now.
Thank you
already, Sally. Appreciate it. But yeah, this episode is basically just to show you guys that we all made it to DC. We were very serious about coming here. Thanks to your help, we were able to come here.
It's really ridiculous. We all were traveling all morning, all day, and met up, and everybody else. We're excited.
And Liz is here. Liz McIntyre, founder of Stop Moms for Liberty, which you guys know has been on our show several times, one of our biggest supporters. She came up all the way from Florida, drove here from Florida.
Are you sure they're gonna let you back?
Hold on.
Right.
We're getting some reverb, so we want to try.
Are you sure they're gonna let you
back? We're getting maybe. Should I want to turn one of the microphones on?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
It's gonna be hit and miss. We can actually.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah. So let me see if I need.
See what happens. Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us know.
Let me.
Anyway, so we want to talk about what tomorrow is going to be like. Hopefully, if you can come down, that would be great. We understand that most people cannot, so that is actually why we're here, so we can live stream it and show everyone. But it's actually been a while since we did a little bit of what's been going on in the news. So I actually did prepare a little bit. If we want to just go through some stupid stuff for a little bit, and then maybe while we're here, we can get everyone's opinion on it.
We may as well.
We never really get a chance to do that.
Oh, we forgot to introduce everybody.
Oh yeah, sorry. Tom's wandering around.
He's the guy who. This is his baby. This was his idea. He's the originator of
our baby, man.
Right? We all just kind of managed to get
I in team.
That's right. Jasmine is here.
Yep.
Hi. Say hi to everybody.
Wait, where'd she? Oh, there she is. There she is.
Same way.
Sometimes.
Yeah, we're gonna a little bit of lag.
Weird. Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hit and miss live stream just because of the reception in this area.
Yeah, but we'll have some fun. And there is a patriotic puppy around here somewhere.
Yeah, where's the puppy?
Yeah, little pitty puppy.
So Mike and I did manage to meet up earlier. We did go to the History Museum, American History Museum, which was awesome because it's a place I used to go to as a kid.
I actually have a few pictures from there.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
While I was waiting for you guys, I was messing around with making overlays. So
nice.
One thing that we asked one of the workers there was what they recommended we see, and one of them was like the Hall of Entertainment, and it was definitely worth it. One thing we saw on the left was actual the chains used in Roots, which if you haven't seen that, you should watch that.
Yeah.
It is before it's banned or erased from history. On the right is if you grew up watching MASH, like I know I did and Jeremy did. This is the famous road sign that tells you the distances and everything. Here's the puppers.
She's too excited.
We have guests.
We have more people. The dog escaped.
Another thing we saw was Bill Nye the Science Guy's lab coat,
his
which
lab
was
coat
awesome.
from his show. That's
and
amazing.
These were Joe Lewis's boxing gloves.
Yeah. We saw Muhammad Ali's robe.
Oh yeah, we did.
There was all kinds of stuff that we got to see.
One thing I wanted to load that I forgot, I think I sent the video, was when we were going through the whole of military history.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere it just stops and it's like America's military engagements, as if we just weren't in wars after Vietnam.
You guys, I got banned today, and we got banned today on TikTok. We were live streaming the Natural History Museum, American History Museum. I wasn't even thinking about it, and all of a sudden the live turns off. Right? I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's just a reception thing. I'll just start back up, and then we get a second message like you've been banned from live access for so many days. We're like, for what? We're in a museum. What could we have possibly done or said that would have gotten us? It was the guns that were on display at the military history portion of the museum.
Like,
I cannot believe it.
Guns.
No, so we appealed it and we got it right back. But it blew me away that's why we got banned for. I couldn't.
One thing I noticed, but I didn't show you this one until just now.
What?
We were walking through the World War II section, and they had a Nazi flag, and I saw a reflection in it. So I zoomed in. I realized what it was, and how hilarious is that? It actually says "exit" backwards right in the middle of that horrible, atrocious flag. And then when we left after that, we were wandering around. We didn't have much time. Hi, patriotic. I just thought this was a cool picture of the Washington Monument. I've never been here, so I'm touristing the crap out of this. But
I've been here since I was 12 years old.
Yeah, that's absurd.
I was in here like
That's true. You guys were down here for another protest.
Oh, patriotic pup is eating your beard.
I told you, man. She's one of your best friends.
Yeah.
all right,
The dog whisperer.
get the hell down.
No, he's so cute. You're a mascot. And she's Nakey Pup right now. No colors. Oh, Nakey Pup.
So precious.
So I just wanted to, we've been looking forward to this for so long. So we definitely are excited to talk about the rally. I just wanted a couple of things we were going to talk about with everyone. Let's see what I had found out today. So we're at the cusp of the Thing's 100 days in office. So I wanted to take a look at some of the state of things. One of them being the economy, which, is wonderful. Those are all the three main indicators, and they are taking a shitty nosedive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. But, the tariffs will save us. Actually, you were the one that told me while we were driving around today about the tariff thing, how they're upset that Amazon was putting tariffs on their receipts.
Yeah, they were showing people on their orders tariff charges. And apparently the Donald Trump administration, Caroline Levitt actually came out. I don't know if you guys heard this. Caroline Levitt came out and was like, this is a blatant political attack.
The Amazon receipts.
About Bezos.
Yes. Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes, it is. Catch my whiff. It definitely is. Hold on.
I know.
Hold on. Yep, that's him looking at the sun.
That's funny. So, actually, yeah, when we ask them questions, we'll just unmute their mic, and that's gonna happen.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just gonna happen because we're in the middle of a hotel.
So just in comparison, because, technically the Thing was our president once before. Good times. So I wanted to look and see how things are going between his first term and this one. And as you can see, it's a giant shit show.
Yep.
First 100 days and the entire economy is taking a crap. Hello, patriotic pup. But it's not just the economy, it's the state of everything, right? This is where I really want everyone's opinion, because the economy is obvious for itself. But how about its continued attacks on students? And the beauty of this one is how their double standard will always favor themselves and screw everyone else. So White House Press Secretary Caroline Levitt told reporters in her weekly briefing that the Trump administration will go after those who don't repay the loans instead of placing the burden on taxpayers.
That's insane.
The government can and will collect defaulted federal student loan debt by withholding money from borrowers, tax refunds, federal pensions, and even their wages.
Wages, dude, that's crazy.
But then I came across this wonderful post. The PPP loans were created in 2020. Within 1.5 years, over 80% of them have been forgiven, totaling $600 billion. Student loans started around 1958 to 65, 60 plus years later, and 0.6% of student loan debt has been forgiven. But, we can't have debts forgiven for students.
No, God forbid.
And what about this one, everyone? 100 days. This is as of today, right before filming. 99 days, he has spent 24 days golfing. That is 24.24% of his presidency. I'm amazed he can do all that with all the wonderful accomplishments he's been doing. Like, what did we hear on the Midas Touch today? We were driving home. Fox News is even trying to tout his accomplishments, and
The banning of paper
banning
straws
of paper
was one of
straws.
those things, man. That's
What was the
insane.
other one? Naming the gulf of
So I'm
something.
down with put us in plastic straws back in
Look, I'm not going to say plastic straws aren't superior to paper straws.
the.
I'm just saying there are.
No, but
There
his
are.
reasoning behind it though is like even if plastic, if people, he says the sharks are going to eat the plastic straws. That's going to solve the
Well,
problem.
look, he cares about wildlife because he's worried about the sharks eating the plastic straws. He's worried about the whales
Yeah.
crashing into the wind turbines. They're eating the dogs and cats.
So it might be a little broken.
Yeah.
Well, did you see? I don't know if you're aware of this. He actually is Jacques Cousteau. He used to try. He just didn't want to take the spotlight away from the animals, so he came up with that other name. Oh, that's right.
Is
There
that
were people that were saying that he wasn't sleeping and was
Yeah.
his deep fake.
Yeah, like, come on. The guy was fiddling. Oh, what, at the Pope thing?
Yeah.
He was fiddling around, and then he was falling asleep.
The Pope died at 88.
I know, right?
Yeah.
What are the chances?
Wait, is it 80? No.
Oh, that's a Nazi thing.
Oh, I think
I
we should
told
talk
you
about
the-
JD Vance.
It was stop and stop. Need to talk to the manager immediately.
Yeah.
This one's defensive.
Wow.
There are.
What if the Pope gets reincarnated as a futon?
There's a prophecy about
What's that? Well, a couch. This is a little exotic.
this.
An Italian couch.
Italian leather couch.
Because he walked the walk.
Fair.
He embodied it. So like, I was actually distraught to see that he had passed just after meeting the man who I'm pretty sure it's Maybelline.
Oh.
I can't believe that, and I'm like, he reminds me of my grandfather. I think that's why.
Thank you so much. Oh, for the pooch close up.
Nice.
Oh,
We got $5 for the pooch.
actually, this is a good idea. This is funny because the whole plastic straw debate is nonsense. Because here, Catch My Whiff said you can make plastic straws out of soy. One thing I saw is plastic straws made out of avocado pits. You could make plastic out of other things than petroleum. It's just the petroleum industry is like, we don't want that.
No.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. We don't need plastic straws. We need non-paper straws.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about why we're here.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just to do like a tourist thing, which we did. It was
We did.
fun. It was shorter than we wanted it to be, but you know we can only pack so
What
much
we're
in.
really here for is the Rally Against Fascism. That Tom, maybe, all right, he doesn't want to take all the credit for it, but in reality, he definitely insisted upon this
I brought
birth.
everybody together. How about
Yeah.
that?
All right, but you know what? Every great cause has a great rallying point. And you know, now that we're here, right? You said how many times since we came into the room right there?
Yeah.
This has been 30 days, 60 days, whatever it is. So now it's here. You
Yeah.
excited?
Hell yeah. It was like the other 2 days ago. I was just like, man, I felt that calm sensation. That it's like it's here.
Yeah.
There's no more adrenaline. There's no more anxiety. It's just like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, it came together.
I kind of felt the same way today when I got up because it has been a long month. It wasn't easy to get here. It's just times were tough for everybody. And
Yeah, but
unfortunately, we forgot that, like we always say, we forgot to sign up for the George Soros funding package for all our protests.
I don't understand. I did
So-
everything right. I scrubbed my bio of wokeness. I
Yeah.
threw out all my inflammatory books.
Yeah, but no, we
I
don't
think
get any of the
hardest part
Soros
for me
funding.
was like working overnight and then watching you guys struggle to put stuff together, and I'm like, crap, I gotta go on the podcast. I have to get like 3 hours of sleep
Yep.
to do a 12-hour shift.
Well, there was the one you were at work, or at least on your way home
driving
from
your
work.
truck back to the shop. When
I
you
know.
got-
Oh, when you guys were on Brando. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, is that why the camera turned off? I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that's funny.
But,
So yeah,
yeah. I mean, we definitely put the standard of we could achieve anything.
wasn't a big group of people behind this effort. This was just pure passion and really just wanting to forge a sense of community.
Yeah.
We
So
always say that.
I would like for all of you
Thanks,
to
Sally.
take away from this that you can do the same thing in your hometown, and even, find other people, because we're from all over.
And
We were talking about that today, how we've always said one of the things we always wanted to do is make a difference, but we also wanted to be able to bring people together. And in doing so, we have just met so many cool people. And this is like the culmination of it. It's awesome. A functional human.
Right.
Whatever other isms that they can fit in there. But yeah, so I always wanted to do things, but I also realized that there was a lot of effort out there that didn't feel genuine. And I didn't want to risk doing anything that came off that way. Yeah, I had some apprehensions with our timeline on this, but as I told you guys behind closed doors, once I sign up for something,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let it fit.
Yeah. You set that goal and it motivates you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. And I think that's why we're here, to fight back against people that have been spending decades with that mentality, with this false sense of doom and gloom and the satanic panic and the gays are coming and we got to stop all this. In reality, those people were grassroots organizing while being manipulated by larger forces, all to come together to bring us here. And what we're trying to do is show that you could fight back using the same methods and getting a good outcome instead of trying to, implement fascism everywhere.
The thing is, and if anybody ever needs help, ask for help.
That's the thing, man. I get it. Asking for help for any reason is hard.
Not even that. It's just I'm
But
talking
do it.
not like the financial part.
No, Edgar.
We're all supposed to be in this together. We're all supposed to be fighting against, for the same cause. There shouldn't be a time where anybody was like,
So
that's crazy.
Are we getting reverb?
are we getting reverb? It was probably that. Yeah, I don't remember what we were saying. I got a couple of questions here. So I want to go around and ask everyone, pretty straightforward, simple. Do you all think Trump will last the full term?
No.
Honestly, I don't. Should he? No.
Should he legally or should he because of his health?
So, well, no. You ever seen a TikTok with like this and no longer here at 78? So like that's pretty much where I'm at. But like I feel that with the way he and his cronies are with their plan to otherwise level the earth.
Yeah.
They're not because I don't think that they're willing to mind like there's only so long you can do that. Everyone's fine until
My God, I don't know that there's enough people that are ready to defend and not let that line be so narrow, because by the time it gets to the white people that are fine, I don't know that we can come back from that.
I'm gonna say this
Allegedly.
So see what we're doing.
Mhm.
Now I'm gonna be like, all right.
tell her to get out.
But one person to get here.
Yeah.
It took one person of my time to get if you would fight against.
One audio needs to go that way.
So all we're gonna take. It's gonna take leaders, strong leaders, to know when it's time to do something allegedly.
So here's a question, because one thing we have to look out for is the leadership, right? We think politics. What's up, Liz?
Before you ask that next question,
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer the first.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Every day he's becoming less and less effective. I hope he stays right in that office and he just keeps spinning his thumbs and trying everything that he's trying, and people keep shooting him down.
Figuratively, not literally.
Well, he is the reason Canada
Yes.
has a liberal president.
Figuratively.
Yeah.
No, that literally happened because Canada was not headed towards a liberal presidency. How about this? What did you see? The whole China now is importing whatever it was importing from us from Canada. That's it. They're done. They don't need us anymore. Nope. Like that. Well, so we were talking about that too. You know, how do we recover from this? Even if we survive somewhat to the midterms and we win, okay. Say we survive then to a next presidency and we get everything. Are other countries going to go, well, okay, you survived that one weird term. They're not going to trust us anymore. It's not going to take a new president for them to go, oh, we're going to have all our business back with you.
Yeah, they're like, just wait, it'll happen.
Oh, you think they'll be ready to come back?
Realizes this is one crazy man. This isn't the United States of America. It's not the people of America.
But if it happens, what do they trust that we won't let it happen again? Is my fear. After 200 and something years, we let it happen.
No one can say that it will never happen. We just win.
Yeah,
It's like.
you're right.
Last people in high school to teach it were real book. So like for me to know that someone that doesn't know what animal is, like this is happening in real time. And
You don't need the book burnings. They're getting rid of books already. They're just smart enough to not burn them.
yeah. It's like digital format.
Yes.
Book. We gotta go back.
Look, I don't care how old it makes me look. I need that smell of a book. I need the touch of a book. There's something about the tominess, the magic of it. But I get that way around a science book too, so it does. I'm just weird.
She is meant for podcasting.
Yeah, what is this beautiful puppy?
Look at her on the screen though. She's literally sitting.
I love it.
Oh my!
You're
God.
the most gorgeous creature. Oh. Well, all right. So let's talk more about tomorrow. So
Yes.
one thing I think, you know, being able to bring people together and being able to help people being able to ask for help. I look at it also from how many people want to do something and don't know what to do. So one thing we've talked about, Liz, especially is teaching people how to resist. You know, not everyone knows how to put together a rally. Well, I bet you would say right now, if I could put it together, anyone could put it together. So like,
It's all about taking initiative, man. Yeah.
and knowing what to do. You just ask questions. How do I do a rally? How do I get this for a rally? How do I, and you look, research, and you put it together.
Yeah, like I mean, this is the first time I did it. Like I actually did the admin work of it, of getting like the permits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like, when I did the rally in my hometown, I had other people doing the permit stuff while I was grabbing everybody in my town.
Got you.
So he never got to experience that until this time around.
Yeah.
So on many occasions, he'd just be scrolling through his phone, and I'm like, hey, you see that whiteboard over there?
Right.
There's a laundry list of shit to do. Let's go.
Just think about, because we've been talking about this, because if anybody out there knows anybody that knows anybody, like we still are looking for funding, because this is just the beginning. Like this is not just going to be one rally and we're done. And like this is just the beginning of something bigger.
Well, it's funny. We've said, you know, one of our goals this year, once we realized we couldn't give up, was we wanted to go to a rally by the end of the year. Well, it was like a couple of weeks in and we went to our rally in New York. I went to one local protest. You went to one in Harrisburg.
Yep.
Then you went again, and now we're doing this. So now we're already on our second protest. Well, one of our goals was to eventually make it to DC for a protest. So now we're doing that. Tom was able to get us to fulfill one of our dreams. We're helping put something together. And this is what we need to do. Everyone needs to find a way to work together. We've had episodes with Liz where we said, you know what, there are people that we need to just stuff mailboxes, to just write letters, to just do the back work, the grunt work, not in front of cameras, not on the streets, not giving speeches, but it is a network and we need everyone's skills. And if you want to help, you can find a way to help organize your community, organize protests, organize a resistance. And it's not hyperbole, right, Liz? We're organizing a resistance, or at least part of it, whether we like to think it or not. If we're not acquiescing to fascism, we're part of the resistance.
And I want to give a special shout out to Tim over here, because he came on, like we started talking, TikTok and stuff like that, and he's helping me with some other things that I can't really speak about on the podcast, but like, I got like what you did, 10-hour drive?
That's
Oof.
like 11 and a half.
Holy shit.
Where'd you come from? If you want to say.
From Illinois.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm
That's what I'm saying.
like,
People can't from all over
balls.
this.
I mean,
That was my girlfriend that drove.
Right.
I was complaining because it took me 2 hours to get into New York.
They were, they helped out a lot with certain things, and I wanted to make sure he got here, and that's the thing, if we work as a team, we could achieve anything. We could get people from all over the place. It's just you gotta have that want.
Yeah. Here's a good example. I was just going to suggest flyers, print them out, staple to a bulletin board. Old school isn't that bad. One thing I want to
Oh,
do.
remember the flyers we saw downtown?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have a picture of that.
Yeah.
So before the election, I tried printing out. I think I finally handed out 100 Project 2025 flyers in mailboxes in my neighborhood. Clearly didn't do anything. But
Not necessary.
yeah, who could say? If I saved one person from making a dumb decision, I guess it's worth it. But
You gotta start somewhere.
being able to do the old school stuff actually has a funny story to it. I saw someone make a suggestion that we send just snail mail to the White House, to Congress, to Doge, whatever the hell it's called, because especially weird shaped envelopes, just fill it with sticky notes, fill it with stuff that says Donald Trump stinks, whatever, inundate them with mail because they have to open it all.
There's nothing illegal about it.
So I printed up something that I printed it up at work.
Send them some cockroaches and some bed bugs.
Oh yeah, I found a bed bug already.
Allegedly.
So one thing that I found that my wife does, and I think this is the most passive aggressive patriotic thing in the world, her and I are having a contest of stuff that we could do that does not do anything except make us feel like we're fighting back. I noticed when she put a stamp on something that she was sending, we have the forever stamps and it was just the flag. She put it upside down in distress.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's good.
I was so proud of her. Yep, little passive resistance. But no, the point is there are ways. Go put flyers out, talk to people, go to town halls, go anywhere and just talk, linger,
Yeah.
see who's pissed and who's happy about things.
And I'm
People that are
sorry.
happy, ignore, go to the pissed people and talk to them.
Be petty.
Yeah, be petty.
Be petty, please.
It was hard for a long time because I was fighting chargers, and there was all you think I could do was go on TikTok and battle this online for a long time, and now I'm able to get back and do this in real time. So I'm thankful I could get back on the streets and do this.
Yeah.
For a long time I couldn't.
No, I
It was
mean,
fun,
I think that's important for people to understand. This country isn't just for a certain group of people that have a certain life story. The whole point of this country is not only for immigrants to be here and our own homegrown Americans to grow up with their own story. Everyone's story is different. Everyone gets here in different ways. The fact that you want to get to a place where we can all work together to fix things shows that we can win because of our differences. We're not falling in line with the sameness. I walked around DC today with a little pride bracelet. I'm not gay. I would love if someone said to me, hey, why are you wearing that? I'd be like, because I could support people that aren't me. That's called being human.
Yeah.
And if we could work together and show that all of us from all these different parts of life and all these different stories, all these different backgrounds, colorful, checkered, whatever, we're fighting fascism and we're all starting to come together for it.
And there are
that's
no
what being
qualifications.
patriotic's all about is helping the person that can't help themselves.
Right.
Gee, it's almost like they stole patriotism, the driest mouth today. It's almost like they stole patriotism to use it as a tool for fascism when the rest of us are like, but we like our country.
Yeah.
We don't walk around talking about how crappy this state is, how crappy this country is, how crappy its people are, how much it's broken. We talk about the past that was broken and what we've done to fix it. We talk about what we could do to fix it more. And all what we're fighting now is a regression to go back to the worst of whatever this country ever was.
But
You can't be a patriot or be a racist. You can't be a
Nope.
patriot or be a fascist.
no.
A bigot.
I think
A misogynist.
Honestly, I think the movement of yours is going to be the beginning of trying to take patriotism back and taking our flag back. Because I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
The longest time,
Mike and I said this on the show. Like, it's gotten to the point where if I see somebody with an American flag hanging off the back of their car, I automatically assume they're like a racist bigot. And that's not okay. Like, that's not what the American flag stands for. I understand our country's got to pretty, you know,
Um,
horrible history. Let's just admit it.
I say we try to push towards rewriting the dictionary version. Of
Yeah.
patriotism.
There's
You
a
know,
flag they can use.
you make a great point, and I'm gonna. This is how my brain works sometimes. When we did the episode where we had the oath that you take when you enlist versus the veteran oath, I had a visceral reaction that the veteran oath is a better, more comprehensive identification of what service means from a civic level. And I want us to redefine patriotism to reflect that definition. What does it mean to serve? Why?
Because when you serve your country, when you're in the military, you're serving your government. You're not really,
That's an interesting perspective.
you're not
I thought
serving,
about that today.
you're not really serving the people. See, like, you know, women of color have been serving the people for a very long time. Those are the real, like those are the veterans.
Oh, you mean the ones that serve the white ladies by feeding their babies for them?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, like,
I know what you mean.
we as service members, when we get out of the military, it's either it was a job for you, or you actually took it to heart and you kept serving your country, the people.
Are the people who take the service literally, are they going to ignore the order when
Veterans
it comes?
don't take.
That's what I want to know. Versus the people that take it as a job are happy to do the shitty parts of the job.
If you're a person of integrity, you always had that integrity.
Yeah.
If you're a person,
Yeah, nothing's going to change
if
that.
you're a person that just joined the military to be a tough guy or to punch down on people or just to
Yeah.
Like those who become cops to continue being
Yeah.
bullies after high school. There are good cops.
and,
For
Yeah.
ice agents.
Well, I haven't really
Well, Wait, you mean you could have a problem with something on an intellectual level but not hate everyone? Oh, so you could have a complex thought.
so me and Tim come from this thing called the hardcore scene, right? And it's like a punk rock / metal / a gangster type scene.
Mm-hmm.
So like we always take care of our own. We always talk about loyalty, brotherhood, and all that good stuff, right? But we're always about taking white supremacists and keeping them away from our scene. So because they try to infiltrate us all the time.
It's funny, American skinheads are the bad guys, British skinheads are the good guys.
Well, that's why we have sharps.
Yeah.
Dating. Her family was like, what the?
And like, that's an interesting perspective because on one hand, like you got to understand if people don't understand something. If they're willing to listen, that's when it institutes. You could,
That's why
also they trust you're not an idiot.
that's why I joined the military. It's because I was in that brotherhood mentality. And I always, being in the punk and hardcore scene, we always protect, the person that can't protect themselves.
Yeah.
And even before then, he's not gonna talk about this, but your mother told me about how you got in trouble in wrestling because one of the guys on the wrestling team was bullying one of the other guys and you laid him out. So, you've been doing this your entire life.
Yeah.
Your natural tendency is to smack the bully in the mouth.
Or let him know that.
Sometimes they'll get you in trouble. Sometimes.
But you know what? I mean, like that's the thing though. Like you have to like take a stand. Like you have to not be scared to stand up for bullies. But the funny thing is that these same people that are bullying, that like get counter bullied, call us bullies. How does that work?
It's because I don't think there's something broken in Americans' ability to understand a narrative. We can no longer, as a culture, discern bullshit. We were talking about this where you look at a headline and you're like,
Yeah, it was.
I cannot discern if that is bullshit or not.
It was
Like I used the example of back in the 90s, you could see the Inquirer and be like, Bat Boy doesn't exist. Now, if I saw that, I'd be like, Bat Boy might exist.
right.
I don't freaking know anymore. There's an entire possibility that Bat Boy might
It was
exist.
a Neil deGrasse Tyson tweet,
Oh, he
and he's
still is
holding-
terrified.
Dude, I'm serious. I feel like we lost Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm hoping he's trolling us.
He's trolling us.
Okay, 'cause I was mad as shit when I saw
Tell
that.
them.
This is Neil deGrasse Tyson post. He's holding 4 red hats, and one of them is to make America great again, one to make America smart again. One of them, I forget what it said. The other one is like blacks, it's just red hat. And he's like, which one should I wear today? And I'm like, please tell me you're trolling. Please tell me you're trolling.
Look, I've never met the
You
man,
can't be.
but as someone who is one of the longest running administrators of the planetarium in Manhattan
Yeah.
Natural History Museum, he's trolling the shit out of us. He is.
He has to be.
Uh,
It'd be like Bill Nye the Science Guy coming out and going, the Earth is flat.
Well,
Like,
first of
no,
all,
what the fuck?
you know, I would throw up and die.
I so I'm like, wait a minute, I'm hanging with Bill.
I would love to.
I love that guy.
I'd love to hang out with Bill Nye.
Yeah, he's cool as hell.
When he started his Netflix show, this was years ago now. COVID screwed up my ability to tell time anymore.
Yeah.
He was like, people were like, this isn't the Bill Nye I remember, because he was like getting angry, and it was like, it's not the Bill Nye you remember, because when we were kids, Bill Nye was trying to teach us. And now that we're adults and we fucked it all up, we didn't listen, so now the teacher is mad at us and he's yelling at us. Like, that's what's happening.
We are adults now, and that's
Oh, God. You know who I'm glad is not alive to see this, although I would give anything for him to be alive, is Carl Sagan.
George Carlin.
And George Carlin. And Sir S. Thompson. But I digress. Well, what do we got?
Yeah, so tomorrow we'll be live.
Yeah,
Let's most of the day because
I have this running, but like, let's get some more specific. So what do people have to do? Where do they show up? Again, we know that most people are not going to be able to go. That's again why we want to live stream it. We had a lot of good response last time with people that are like, heck, we could just sit here and watch it. We know that this is happening. We want to show you it's happening.
Mhm.
So, but let's pretend you're going to go and maybe you are. What do we got to know?
Well, it's 11 to 4 tomorrow. We have program plans with different speakers on some of the topics that we're most concerned about. A lot of marginalized veterans are taking hits right now.
Yeah.
And we need to stand up for that. And I think we'll be near 4th Street
Yes,
on the mall.
4th Street Southwest between the National Gallery of Art and the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum.
Thank God I want to go in there and see the LEM so bad. Anyway.
So speakers are to start at noon. However, there will still be some opening remarks before then. But if you're there to see some speakers, just make sure you get there before noon. We are super excited. I can't believe you freaking made it, guys.
Yeah.
Full of junk.
I know.
It's gonna be a great freaking time.
Do you want to talk about our MC for a second?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wait, Liz wants to say something?
Yeah, because it's good if we kind of end up.
Oh, okay.
You know, things, but I just wanted to make a point of who on earth would have put this crew together?
Those are the best teams, man.
No, it's funny how we ended up hooking up because you were on our podcast and then you were on our podcast. You were like, I
We have our own
so-and-so,
goofy history.
and she described you a little bit. And I'm like, and that's how we ended up figuring it out.
Like, we need her. Let's go.
Yeah,
And she's like some other scruffy guy with a beard.
we know each other. Like that's how we ended up like. In
No, but you're right, Liz.
And so we have
We've been,
maybe?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a little under 6 weeks.
Oh,
So
I ignored
We-
our,
flipping gonna be on the mall.
yeah.
that is amazing. Like the hit, just to be part of that history.
Absolutely.
It's the
The
visual.
most powerful cities. in the world. I was telling them, I got a little bit lost, but I did because I was right along the.
Oh, nice.
I could see all these, very historic buildings. I've been here before, but it had a whole.
There's a
different
gravity to
spin
it, right?
today.
Yeah.
I
I was in middle school.
This is my first time here, so.
And
Yep, they're not his. Yep.
She goes, she really wanted to be here, but she had other plans and obviously, but she says to me, just like, probably a month before we even figured out we were doing any of this.
Yeah.
So Jasmine, sometimes I sit there and I realize, why is nobody doing it?
Wonder that all the time.
Go on with their lives. Go to work.
How many times have I told you that? I'm like, I was working for Amazon for the winter, and it was just like, why am I even doing this?
But that's the
What's the
point.
point of
They
it all?
want, look, this is a whole series of shows on its own, I guess, but we'll get to the point of it is because I think I'm understanding the message. They want us to be miserable. The whole point of this capitalist thing we're doing is to keep a lot of us downtrodden under the whatever way from losing everything. That's what needs to bind us. That's what they keep trying to make us forget. And if we can all tap into that, that's what makes us stronger.
Well, and like too, that's the thing. Is like, in Star Wars, I'm a nerd. But that's
You
the thing,
peep.
though.
Everything has a reason for it.
Well, see, like that's the thing though. Like they try to like
Just make this
they
full
wanted
screen.
to take out hope because hope is what helped them to like overcome that. And yes, I know it was a story. It's fake, but I mean, in that
Most stories are fake. They still inspire.
Yes,
But
of course.
they
that's
come
the
from
thing.
real life experiences. Like
You can't make
like if you ever sit back and go watch some of like the storylines in Rugrats.
Oh yeah,
Batman
that shit was preparing us for
like
this.
it's all of it's so deep. Like I honestly, I even watched the lessons on Bluey because Precious watches them, and
I love.
teaching how to be and just
Man, does your dog have a favorite cartoon?
she does. She also likes 100 Fundations, the real life action.
Oh,
She will seriously watch it attentively.
I just curious. Some people all the time, like I'm talking about toxic masculinity. You know, if you watch Dragon Ball Z, right?
Heck yeah.
Goku is the epitome of positive masculinity, and Vegeta is.
He's still a bad father though. Goku's a bad father. No.
Vegeta was.
And I have no idea.
Vegeta's a great father.
He was the epitome of toxic masculinity.
No, I got you.
So
But it's funny because we all grew up seeing these examples.
yes, and Frieza was just a racist.
Frieza is a there's yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
He,
look at
he was the mustache man of that cartoon.
Yes, he was.
Here we actually passed by like the memorial for Flight 93,
Oh.
which was the
Oh,
flight
shit.
that they fought back to stop
Yeah.
the plane from hitting where we're gonna be.
Yeah.
Where, you know, and like that's the thing. It's
Why does that that thought now, that struggle back
like they
means
fought
something
back.
today? Like they were against, they knew they weren't
Certain
gonna
guys.
like land the plane.
Yes.
They
But
knew that was going down.
certain guys, and they still did something.
They at that moment went, we can't help ourselves, but we could help someone else. And
Yeah.
they did.
And that's what we need is just selflessness.
Yeah, that's the way they.
Well, it's funny. I mean, I've thought about that too. Like, I think we're all guilty of it. I'm definitely guilty of it. The amount of, I know this word is going to irk people, comfort we've lived in for so long. What I mean by that is we might have all these stresses, these anxieties, these economic forces pushing against us. But relatively speaking, we don't fear for, a lot of us don't fear for our lives to the extent people in Myanmar might, or in other countries that are war torn, like, I don't know, Gaza. So when you don't have that constant terror, you kind of think everything's somewhat okay.
Yeah.
But we have to remember it's not okay, and we need to like draw on that pain
Well,
and
None of
fight back.
this is normal.
No,
Like,
this isn't normal.
Let's not let's fight like that. Also, stop letting that be normalized. Like it can't be a normal Tuesday and somebody else trans one or a drag queen or a Mexican or an immigrant. It's always a heterosexual incel white man.
Because it's white men we're afraid of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Or
we
should
just
be.
let that.
I'm afraid of more white men than any other group of people.
But
Yeah, cis white men.
Derek did to George Floyd, and we're showing his mugshot.
Yeah.
It happens every time that a person of color is slain. We are showing terrible pictures of them.
Yeah.
But you don't want to show me exactly. Don't even get me started on that. But
That judge was, I believe,
That's
just
genocide.
kicked out recently.
Well, they're talking about there's people talking about when the pardon Derek showed. You know what I mean? That's like how sick our society has become.
and that's like
And somehow blame
this-
George Floyd for getting murdered. Yeah.
this is
Because
the
we
same-
live in gaslight. We
Yeah.
are gaslight every day of our
Yeah.
the
lives.
same people who said that the Pope wasn't a true Christian, and I'm like,
Oh, like where's
Yeah, so anyways,
Jesus.
But Trump is.
Martin McFly's face is literally running away from her.
Ha,
Like, it's all that hate.
Here's a comment.
Let me get
It's
easy.
scary.
The week or so after 9/11, I was called to someone's desk to fix their computer. The person with the issues was a young Indian from India woman. When I got that, thank you for that clarification. I appreciate it. When I got to her desk, she was legit scared of me. Yeah, because as soon as that happened, every white person was like, "You're browner than me. You're suspicious. Is that a tan or do I hate you?"
Yeah. Yep.
see, but that's also the constant theme for this country. is
Which group of
always
brownish
going
people do we hate?
What,
Right?
which is nationalism.
Ah.
Nationalism, which you might think is patriotism, but it's not. It's not the same thing.
No, it's about
And now
like
it's
caring about the
American
country,
anti-patriotism.
countries, or two, like that's. Like what happened? Like Germany got their butts kicked. They wanted to blame people.
Yep.
They blamed the socialists, the communists.
They got
the Jewish
hyper-patriotic.
Hyper-patriotic.
Started who's the true German, who's the not, who's the
Yeah.
Polish, who's the not. They built a society based on who they're blaming.
Yeah.
Who does that sound like? If they're not, then they didn't build a society based on solutions. They built a society based on blame.
This is why we need to make a change to that definition. We need to come together. We need to petition, whatever we got to do. We're gonna make
I
that.
think veterans should lead that conference, by the way,
But two, how many people have told me?
and
oh,
educators.
There's no gas chambers. It didn't start out
Yeah.
that way.
Didn't start with gas
They
chambers.
weren't in the same
they-
country. Like
Let me tell you something,
it's
okay? I don't think I made a overlay for it. I forgot. But the whole thing about the latest 3 kids that were deported, one of them had stage 4 cancer.
Yeah.
No matter what, who the person is, if you deport them to stop their cancer treatment and they are a child
They're
and
gonna
go, you are an evil piece of garbage.
Yeah.
There is no way
Yeah,
around
that's
that. You
not cool,
don't get to come up with some excuse.
I'll let me find out your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
How about the entrapment of you're here for your green card interview? Oh, we're
Oh,
taking
yeah.
you and deporting you.
That's insane. People going for like their final interviews to get their green card, get citizenship or
Yeah.
whatever, and they're getting deported.
Yep.
So, all right, guys. But unfortunately, I am exhausted. I think all of us are. Yeah.
I'm not
so
even
wake
sure
up,
if I'm
you!
I'm good now.
Oh yeah, Liz, what's up? Yep.
Success. What we have been able to accomplish in this short amount of time, we have flooded social media. There are more people now talking about veterans,
Mhm.
veterans issues, the whitewashing of history that is going on,
Mhm.
than there were before we started this work.
That's true.
So if 5 people show up tomorrow, great, we'll be disappointed, but great, it's 5 more than we have.
Yep. Yep.
And the measure of success is to follow through, to get something done,
Mhm.
to do something.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing.
And we've done everything we can to promote this. We really have.
Yeah.
I mean, within our means.
I think at the very least, I think we're all going to start looking what the next one is, because I think this was it.
No,
If
this is
anything,
the
a
beginning.
learning experience. This is
For
clear.
sure.
Yeah, this is clearly.
Yeah, that was a bit much.
That's like grassroots, like we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now we know we can identify where we lacked, what we need to focus on. We can maybe clearly more define roles if we have longer term.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll encourage other people who are like-minded like ourselves, that can see that we are a diverse group of people
Mhm.
and that anybody can do this. You can join us. If you're interested, I can see that the website is scrolling at the bottom.
Yep.
Fascist.org.
Yep.
Send us a message.
Yep.
Because I know the website is just a landing page now, but people look on it for the rest of the week. I will have it updated to talk about what's coming next.
Excellent.
Yep. You could go to
time on Dragon Balls.
Yes. You could go to the description of the video too for the web information, and you could also go there for our link tree information, which has all of our social media information. It's a lot easier than posting them individually. So if you guys could do that, it'd be great. If you want to donate, you can do so at both our Linktree and fightagainstfascism.org. And we will see you tomorrow for the live stream. So all you gotta do is end stream.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Why do we do this, right? Why were there millions, literally millions of people out marching?
For the
holding
50-51.
Do any of those people think that they're gonna turn the heads of MAGA?
No.
But every time you go public with your stance, it empowers someone else to say, oh, maybe I can show up with a sign. Maybe I can attend a rally. Maybe I can go to my school board meeting and speak. That's why we act in the public domain, so that people see that it is safe and it is our duty to do.
This is patriotism is acting when your
Yes.
country is under attack. It's not aiding and abetting, it's trying to stop it. And that's what we're going to try and do tomorrow. That's what we're going to keep trying to do. We're going to meet more people, get more people involved, maybe more patriotic puppies. We can have a whole pack of puppies.
And if you don't feel safe, find yourself a hooligan.
She's got to go.
Always look for a hooligan.
We are here.
Not soccer hooligans, though. Those are weird. But anyway, thanks a lot. We'll see you all tomorrow on the live stream.
See you guys. And then you click it again.